Hi guys, Vitesse Ajax 1-2. PapiMento, I already tweeted it just like a few minutes ago. Relieved, man. I'm very relieved. It was always a question how we would bounce back, from the defeat in the Europa League. Vitesse away, tricky opponent. You never know. But we won. We won the match. There are a lot of things we need to discuss, especially the quality and the play we had today. A lot of things didn't go well. It's not the Ajax of last week when we played against Sparta, but we got the 3 points, very important because we know that Feyenoord also won today. So, how do you feel, and what do you think of the overall game performance today?
Juan, relieved is the key word here. I'm happy we got that win. The 3 points. We're still in the race for the title. So all that I'm happy about, but just the way we performed, the way in the first half we had less shots on goal than the opponent. I saw sometimes glimpses in the first half of Schroeder ball, in which the ease in which the transition of the opponent to get in front of our goal and get a shot off was so easy. And yeah, I didn't like that. I think this is the worst game I've seen under Heitinga so far. I was annoyed with so many players, but not only in the defensive aspect, also in the attacking aspect. Juan, there are multiple times we can just break through in a counter attack, and the way they're running off the ball, the way the lines are run into the passes given too late or just not early enough. It was we had enough counters today to win 1-4, 1-5 for sure. So I think certain players were decent and good, and then I'm talking about like Klaasse. I thought Edson was phenomenal. I thought Ruli was good. Even Kudus at moments was brilliant. And then there are others in which you're like, okay, you're in the in the team for a purpose, but I don't see it. I don't
Those
see.
players, those players that you're mentioning, were they that good, or did they stood out compared to the others, in your opinion?
Just stood out because I don't think the overall game was of that quality. I thought we were
Exactly.
slow tempo, not a fun game to watch at all, to be honest. We had a lot of trouble with the defensive minded setup of Vitesse. And yeah, I mean, it's a reoccurring thing. We get goals in set pieces. We concede goals in set pieces again, but we also score in set pieces. So that's new. So that's refreshing. Thank you, Edson. But before that, Edson has also that yellow card he got. That wasn't a smart foul. I thought Klaasse was my man of the match, and I'm not the one to brag about Klaasse, but the quality players, the technical players, they can learn a lot from a player like Klaasse, just based on his work rate, his intelligence, and just knowing what you want to do with the ball before you get it. Those are the things, especially like you see Bergwijn. Oh my god, I was so annoyed with Bergwijn today. Taylor also. I'm also like, I don't want to bag on Taylor because he's a youth, he's a child of the product. But if you consider him as the number six, or kind of the guy that's gonna uh, how do you say, like, he has to be the passer in the team, right? On the midfield, he has to come and pick up the ball and set
Control
where
the
the
pace
ball
of the
has to
game,
go.
control the
Yeah,
pace of the game, break lines, all these kind of things. But it doesn't
exactly,
happen.
Juan.
It doesn't
Exactly. It
happen.
doesn't happen. As a six, it didn't happen today, and he should be the best passer of the team, but then he gives passes where I'm like, why? Like, this
Yeah.
shouldn't be you. And I don't know if you should give him more time, but he's also in the list of guys that I found annoying today. Um, so look, I understand after a loss, Union Berlin, you're not in Europa. You have to, these games come very quick. So in that sense, I can understand a little bit the way we played, but we have so much more quality than we're showing
Yeah. So what is it then?
today.
Is it a matter of confidence? Did we go back to the confidence level of Schroeder because we lost in the Europa League, or is it maybe not confidence level, but maybe we were a little bit, um, how can I say it or put it differently? It's like you're not sharp enough. You're not starting with the right mentality to this game. Which one is it according to you?
No, I think if you look at the whole season already, it's a reoccurring theme.
Yeah,
So you
but again,
cannot,
yeah, but hold on. I
yeah,
said it was with Schroeder. We have a new coach. We saw last week's Sparta performance, even though it was at home. I mean, it's almost like totally different this
Yeah,
week.
I do think that Vitesse played a decent game, better than what Sparta showed. But look, if we look at Ajax, I said this before. I think we can get a lot of more from our fullbacks. I think Wrench and Wijndal are not it for me. Like I've been holding out on this opinion for so long now, Juan, but I'm not seeing it. Wijndal looks to me as a 2.0 of Kleiber. Rensch doesn't have the attacking prowess what I expect from a fullback. A fullback is not only just standing in the back, just defending. For me, it's much more. He should be also engaging in the attack.
Yeah, but how much is it? Because we've talked briefly about this before in previous sessions. How much is it that, I mean, in the first half you saw Wendell coming up a couple of times, but Rensch, on the other hand, and also if you take into consideration the Union Berlin game, he was one of the 3 defenders. How much do you think it's a tactical choice of Heitinga to keep him a little bit reserved and not go full front, because he doesn't go attacking anymore?
No.
So it could be.
I think it could be a tactic, but look, there's a different tactic if you're 3 in the back against a Union Berlin, or that you're playing 4 in the back and you're playing against Vitesse. I think as a 4 in the back, you have a little bit more room to also put in your attacking sense. And it's not like he didn't try. I just think it lacks in quality.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah, I feel
our team are not creating a lot of chances, Juan. And that's the whole season already. And that says enough about the balance in this team so far in quality.
Yeah, talking about the balance, I wanted to allude to that as well. So thank you for the bridge. Just quickly on this, because I feel like today, but maybe you agree or disagree, I feel like today Heitinga stepped up again, in the halftime break. Took Berghuis out, put Alvarez back in the midfield, which I think was logical to do. Bassi came in. It looked a bit more decent at the back, to be honest. Definitely, but 100%. I want to ask you, do you feel like this is maybe a crossroad for Heitinga in terms of now he also has to take a bit of a structural decision, because he's been playing with the first 11 that we saw today, but you see that some players that you mentioned, Alvarez at the back, okay, but if we have fast players countering and stuff, don't forget, Rulli had an amazing save in the first half. Alvarez cannot put up with that, even though it was not his fault, but he cannot cope with that speed. Taylor today at the 6th position, I thought he was much more natural. I thought he was much more natural when he became more an 8 player and went up front. You see his real, even though he didn't play well, just to be clear. And not only that, but also we have to start questioning Bergwijn at the moment. How much longer can we keep him on the left side? I mean, you can have a dip, you can have a lesser form, but he's not contributing whatsoever. And what you said earlier as well, that you saw a couple of players like not doing the proper runs or not doing the right things. That's basically for me Bergwijn. He's doing all the wrong things at the moment. So
there was
how much more confidence can you give him as a coach? And at what stage do you say, you know what, you're just not having it right now. I will save you, put you on the bench, give other people a chance. Because we cannot keep hoping on. We know he has it, but he's not delivering.
No, exactly, and he's searching so much for that goal that he's kind of. In Dutch, you would say blind horse. Like he doesn't have, just because he wants that goal so much, he's not paying attention to what's going on around him. Which Tadic was, totally free next to him if he just gives that ball. But he just wants that goal so much that the blinders go on when he's in front of goal, and he just wants that to shoot. Look, you look at Kudus, for instance. On the other side, not a proper winger, but look at the danger he creates. 2 times today. He has a dribble from the side in which he comes in the box. The one where Bergwijn shoots over, and then the other dribble where Brobbey misses. I think those, in the times of Ajax with quality, those are goals that are sitting.
Is it quality or is it confidence? Because I asked you this question before.
Yeah, no, I think it's both. I think it's quality because we are lacking quality in this team, and it's off balance for sure. I've said that many times. But Bergwijn is off his game. He's been off his game. I thought he started very well in the first couple of games in the season, but after that, he didn't come back to that level anymore. And it's very predictable in what he does. I expect much more from our top signing. And for me, Heitinga can start making changes. Put Brobbey as a striker or as a starter, and then put Tadic left wing. I mean, Tadic with lesser speed does more on that wing than Bergwijn in 60 minutes. So it says enough, and I think he should really look at his game and try to figure out what's going on, because I expect much more from somebody with so much experience at PSV and at Spurs.
Yeah, how much do you think that maybe it's a psychological issue becoming now for Bergwijn? Not so much.
Psychological issue? The psychological issue, he's playing every week, even though he's shit. Psychological issue would be if you were sitting on the bench because you were playing like shit, but that didn't happen yet. So right. I think Heitinga should just be like, okay, I gave you a chance. You've been starting for a couple of games now. It's not getting better. Now I'm going to try something else, and he has every right to do that.
Understood. On a positive note, you spoke about Tadic. We have to talk about him, the captain. 150 games, 150 goals and assists. How crazy is that, PapiMento?
Bro, I'm so proud to have him as a captain. Even though this season he's not the Tadic we know, but he's still so important for this team, and he's still decisive with his assists and goals. Even when we're struggling, he's always the one that creates something for us. So it's not something we have a lot of, these type of players. So, and the love he has for Ajax, man, you can just not express it. You feel it in his interviews and everything he does. I think we're very lucky to have him as a captain. Blessed to have him in this club. I don't think we had. I mean, he's up there, best captain Ajax has ever had, and I will always love him no matter. Of course, he's getting older now, so I don't think we're gonna have a lot more of Tadic to see. I think maybe next year, maybe more substitutions, not full games anymore.
That's what we say every year. That's what we say every year, to be honest.
Yeah, but you're starting to notice a lot, like, comments about the way he plays, like very static, holding the ball a lot. Sometimes you also want a little bit the speed in your game, And
yeah, but the strange thing is, if you think about it, who would you prefer right now? Would you prefer Brobbey as a striker or Tadic as a striker?
No, yeah. As it sits, I'm so fed up with Bergwijn, bro. Put Tadic left wing and put Brobbey striker.
All right, clear.
Yeah, so I'm there already. Yeah.
Yeah, and we spoke. I know I'm going too much into details, for a game talk, but just one more question. This is the Heitinga is very much of looking at the youth and what we have. Also, we're seeing Hato getting a little bit more minutes. Also today, coming in for Wijndal. You spoke about Wijndal was not good. Should Wijndal start to also, just like Bergwijn, be worried a little bit, and maybe Heitinga should consider if he continues like that, because we still have two left backs. We have Baas and we have Hato on the bench. That maybe if Wijndal doesn't deliver, he might also be sitting on the bench soon. Or is it not it's not at the stage of the competition or the league to make those radical moves right now, because we're moving towards the end and we want to win the league? How do you see that?
For me, the best always plays. But look, I'm not convinced about Wijndal yet. At AZ, he was a captain. He was the best player. He was creating a lot for his team. He's not doing that now. And when he doesn't do those things, and I see like actually a very limited fullback, not very mobile, not very speedy. If you're talking about, and actually his passing is very structural. It has no creativity in it whatsoever. Yeah. So if Hato is younger, I don't care. If he does better, that's what I care about. What he does on the pitch, and just looking at his athletic ability, I think he already has that over Wijndal. But of course, he's lacking experience, and I don't think you should already give him that chance. I think youth should work to get in that starting team. But if it continues like this, maybe beginning of next season, he will be the left back and not Wijndal.
No, not now. Basically, that's what you're saying.
No, not this season for sure. That's too much pressure for a youngster to handle, in my opinion.
Is it? You sure? It's Ajax,
Yeah, it's Ajax, but I also think that youth should be brought with a certain of time and
but you remember when Timber started playing, it was towards the end of the season as well, the previous season, before he went on a full season. So we've done this before with a couple of players. But okay, I understand what you're saying.
And also, I haven't seen from Hato enough to make that judgment. I mean, he wasn't
in the first team
better than Wijndal today. Yeah,
in the first team. Okay.
Yeah, in these games, the minutes he's getting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. To wrap up everything, PapiMento. So, any other things you want to say to wrap things
Yeah.
up, basically?
A couple of things. I thought Ajax in the counter. I think we should be much better, Juan. I think we had 3 counters today in which
Yeah, but you're talking the
those are
whole time.
sitters.
But listen, you're talking counters the whole time. In possession, we were also dramatic today. Not only counter.
No, I understand that.
We were slow in the build-up.
I understand that, but you're also playing against a team that's fortified, okay, and that's very defensive. If you have the chance and if you have the room to break out with 3-2, with speedy players like Bergwijn and Karud, for me that should be at least a shot on target, at least, and not just the way we did it today, 100%. And then I just want to focus on one more thing. I thought the Karud dribble in the second half, passing 4 guys, and then giving it to Broby, that should be an assist one. And
yeah, you already said that.
Beautiful how he,
yeah, it's clear.
It's beautiful how he goes through that midfield like that and cuts through it, and unbelievable player. And I think we can get so much more out of him if we have a balanced team. That's where I wanted to end it.